Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. What up? Um, got my results from my labs. Again, this video that I'm doing today is about my health journey. Really trying to take it serious and correct some things that that aren't aligned properly, and just getting through, that mindset of not wanting to go to the doctor. Sometimes you don't want to go even when you're not feeling sick, and even sometimes when I do feel, not 100%, I still don't want to go. So, but we have to get past that, especially as men. This video is not just for men, but like the hair thing, just for men. But womp 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 womp. No, but it's true. As men, we tend to be like, oh, I'm okay, I'm this, I'm that, like I can get through it. We just kind of muscle through it, and I rather now, as I'm getting older, be in a preventative stage than try to do something when it's already like in full-blown attack mode. So if I can, better myself and prevent some things from trying to, attack my body, or allow me to get into a position where now I have to fight even harder to offset what has happened, you're behind the ball at that point. So I do appreciate my wife encouraging me to go get my physicals done, get my labs done. She's big on that, especially for herself. She does her labs, like 2 or 3 times a year, make sure that everything is okay. And I'm gonna do the same thing. I just got my labs done. I go back in 3 months to do a follow-up, see if things have gotten better, things have gotten worse. I believe they're gonna be better because I'm not taking this lightheartedly. I'm taking this serious. My results are pretty good right now anyway, so if I can continue down this path and just work on it, it's only going to get better. So I am grateful for the results. I was having some issues. I thought they were with my heart. So I think it was a contribution of a few things. I think it was energy drinks was one. I was doing the bangs. I first started years ago with bangs, and then I got off the bangs, and then I got to the C4s, and then from the C4s I got into the Celsius, and then from the Celsius I found one that I really liked, was the Jocos. I think they were called Goes. Those were like the cleanest ones. And this wasn't consistent. Like I would take them and then not take them, and then recently I got back on. I was doing the Celsius for a while, and then I felt like it was doing something to me, so I got off the Celsius, went back to, because I didn't like the big the 16 ounces. I think I liked the 8 ounces. I didn't want like a big can of energy drink, even though they say it's good for you, it's keto friendly, all this other stuff. I was trying to get less of the drink, so I was getting the Celsiuses because they come in a smaller ounce. So but then the Celsius started making me feel away, so I started going back to the C4, and I tried the Ghost ones, I tried the Rain, so all of them. Again, I never was a Red Bull, a Monster, I never drank any of those. When I used to drink, I used to have Red Bull and Henny, but that was a past life. But just to drink an energy drink, and I didn't even like that. I just don't like the taste of Red Bull. But I had like it was in I want to say between 2020-ish, 2022. I forget exactly when. It was in that time period. I was at a heavy weight, and I think these are all the factors. The energy drinks, the weight from being OTR. You put on weight when you have kids too. You eat with your wife. So OTR is already for those that don't know, over the road. When you're an over the road truck driver, it's it can be very unhealthy. You can make it very unhealthy. You can get into the ways where like you just eat what's there. You know, you have a fridge, you might have a microwave, you might have a grill. Some people go all out. I wasn't one of those. I had a air fryer, microwave, convection oven. It was 3-in-1. So I would do steaks and chicken and stuff like that. But for the most part, I'm eating the McDonald's, the Subways, the Wendy's, the Hardee's, the Arby's, like, you know, all this stuff that's not good for you. And then I have a whole bunch of snacks. So while I'm driving down the road, I'm eating snacks. And yeah, I'm eating bananas and trying to offset it. But, you know, when you're sitting and driving for long periods of time and you're not exercising, you're not doing these things, you're going to gain this weight. So I had all this weight. The heaviest I ever been was 240 pounds. And I'll share some pictures in this video of, you know, the weight that I had. So it was the weight, the unhealthy eating, the lifestyle. Even when I got off the road, I still had that weight. Like, I couldn't shake the weight. So then I started to try to exercise, and one day I went for a jog, but I think at that time I was still drinking energy drinks. It wasn't like I had a fridge full, but like, you know, I might stop at the convenience store, pick one up, and you know, I might drink one like 2 or 3 days out of the week. You know, it wasn't a consistent like every day. After a while, it became an everyday. I got done from the jog, I felt good, but then I felt like an instant like sweat. Like I was already like cooling down. I got like super sweaty. I got clammy. You know, I just felt like I was gonna pass out. So I thought it was the exercise. You know, I hadn't exercised in a while, so I had to, you know, cool my body down. I had to lay on the floor, and so that was one instance. And then years later, it happened again recently, where I could tell it was the energy drinks that were contributing. The energy drinks, dehydration, the lifestyle. So at this moment, I'm training to do boot camp for the Air Force, and but I'm drinking the energy drinks. And actually, no, the second one, when I had that feeling, it was right before I started running and training for boot camp. I still had the 240 pounds. In my head, I was like, man, I got to start losing this weight. I didn't like the way I was looking in pictures. You know, I had all this weight on me. It just looked disgusting. I felt disgusting, but I was trying to like mask it, like, oh, I still love myself, blah, blah. You know, like, you know, I'm okay. Like, I'm comfortable in my own skin, that type of thing. And I was eating one day. I think it was like pancakes, bacon, eggs, all that stuff, and it was on a Saturday. And before I ate, I drank. At that time, it was the Celsius. And as I'm sitting at the table, I just felt something in my, like, around my heart. I don't want to say it was my heart, but it could have been like the arteries or, you know, whatever, the muscles tightening. I don't know, because right now, like, you know, I'll get to that, but I had to get up. I went to the bathroom and I stripped down, and, you know, like, I just felt the clamminess. I was drenched in sweat. I looked at myself in the mirror. I went totally pale, and like now I'm trying to like, oh shoot, like what is this? So remember that only happened one time before, and that was a couple years prior to that. So it was just like, you know, I'm trying to control my breathing. I put a fan on me. I put a cold rag, and after like 15 to 20 minutes, it goes away. You know, the first time it was the same thing. Like after 15, 20 minutes, it went away. This time it happened again. 15, 20 minutes, I cooled down. I was just like, whoa. So then I really started like, dang, is it something that I ate? Is it the energy drinks? So I was like, maybe it's the Celsius. So I stopped drinking the Celsius. And at that time, you know, there was, you know, Celsius got, I know Flo Rida, the rapper, he sued Celsius for something, and then they had another lawsuit that they put alcohol in some of their stuff. And I'm not saying I drank one of the alcohol ones. I'm just saying I think some of the stuff that they put in those energy drinks was affecting me, plus the weight and everything else. So that was right before I found out that I might be able to get to the Air Force. So now I'm starting to exercise. But I'm still drinking the energy drinks. I'm starting to lose a little bit of weight because I'm being consistent in my workouts and stuff like that. But it was maybe, yeah. So I'm doing the workouts. So while I'm doing the workouts, I'm fine. It wasn't until I got the letter that I got denied that I stopped running. I stopped exercising, and then Thanksgiving came because we went out as a family on Thanksgiving, and it happened again. No, I think a couple days before Thanksgiving it happened, where same thing. It was in the morning. I drank an energy drink. It was like the same meal too, pancakes, bacon. So now I'm like, dang, I can't eat pancakes, bacon. So I'm trying to, you try to self-diagnose yourself, and I'm thinking like, dang, is it the pancakes now? But I'm like, well, there was still an energy drink. I think it was I think I had a C4 at the time. It was one of those. It was a C4 or something else, and I think it was a C4, and I think that those energy drinks also dehydrate you. So when I'm working, I stay hydrated. I have my sugar-free Powerades. I have electrolyte packets that I put in the thing. I keep waters with me. So when I'm working, I'm always hydrated. But on the weekends when I'm not working, I don't hydrate myself enough. So I think that was also, being tired, the weight. At this time I had dropped the pounds, by Thanksgiving, but I think it was partially being tired, overworked, and then the dehydration was a factor. So it comes on again I want to say like a week or two before Thanksgiving. It comes to me, I get up from the table, I go, and I'm just like, what the heck? And it happens again, 15-20 minutes, I'm drenched in sweat. I'm like, something's not right. Like, now this is starting to become a common thing, because one happened years ago, and then one happened a few months to this one, now this one, and then we go to Thanksgiving, we go out to eat, I'm tired, I think I drank an energy drink that day. We get to the restaurant around 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening, and I was fine. And then my eye also affects, because certain lights mess with my eye because of the keratoconus. They shut the shades in the restaurant because the sun was like starting to go down, but it was like real strong in the restaurant. So as they shut the shades, I was fine when the sun was in there. As soon as the shade went down, it started, like, the dim light started messing with my eye, and I'm like, oh great. So I'm trying to pound water, make sure that I'm hydrated. And right before the food came, like, I felt like a fluttering in around my heart, and I'm like, nah, not like, this isn't gonna happen to me right here, like at the restaurant. Like, you're envisioning like passing out, they have to call an ambulance. So I get up, go to the bathroom, and like I'm praying now. Like, I'm praying, God, please, like, don't let me pass out here. Don't, like, this is not how I'm going out. And I'm thinking, like, how am I gonna cool down? Like, at the house, I can strip, I can put a fan on me, I'm in a stall at a restaurant, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I'm praying over myself. Like, it's fluttering a little bit, but it's not. So I'm like, all right, I go back. As soon as the food comes, I try to take a bite, and I feel it again. So I just immediately go outside, get some fresh air. I sit outside. Long story short, I had to leave the restaurant. I went into the car while they ate, and I was like, if it's gonna happen, I'm gonna do it in the car, and I can at least put the car on, put some AC on. So that's when I was really like, all right, I gotta go see the doctor. I gotta really, like, pay attention and get to the bottom of this. If I'm having heart conditions, like, let me see what I can do now to try to reverse it, or, get a better grip on it than just keep going through this. And I was like, I'm not drinking any more energy drinks. So since that day, since Thanksgiving, I haven't picked up an energy drink. I refuse. I will not touch another energy drink. Getting back on my workout regimen. Matter of fact, I'm gonna let yesterday's Josh tell you how that went. So give me a second. Appreciate it, Josh. I got it from here. Whew, feel good. Just finished a 1.5 mile workout. Haven't done that since September. I got it at, let me flip this, 19 minutes and 9 seconds. I'll have to show some other times. I was doing that 1.5 miles when I was trying to get into the Air Force, when I thought I was going to get in. I was trying to do the boot camp times. And for my age group, I think I had to be close to, like, in between like 9 and 13 minutes. I don't remember my best. I'll have to look through some of the text messages I was sending some of my friends. But listen, it's been almost 2 months, 3 months since I've even exercised. I kind of, gave up a little bit. Once I got that news, I didn't really have any motivation to keep going. I lost some weight. I was kind of content, kind of complacent. And, that I started off at 240 pounds at the beginning of the journey and down to 218. So I was kind of, I'm good, this and that. But nah, I got to keep going. I want to get as close to 200 as I can, 18 pounds away. And I'm going to do it. I just got my lab results back. I'll let, present day Josh fill you in on that. But yeah, I'm getting back on it. It's Tuesday. I'll show you right now. We can have the accurate time. Oh, apologize. It's Tuesday. Got my results back on yesterday, on Monday. Everything came back good, so besides one thing. And but I'm getting back on it. I'm not playing around. This is just, motivation to y'all. If you have the urge to do it, start it today. Sometimes we tend to put it off. Oh, I'm going to wait till Monday, and it's a Wednesday. Just do it that Wednesday. Start small. That's what I did. I think I have my first time ever recorded when I did that run. It was like 24 minutes. I ran, jogged, walked. I walked most of it. Today, I probably, out of the 19 minutes, I probably only was able to jog without stopping a good 6 minutes. And the rest of it was just speed walking. And I'm okay with that, small steps to greater strides. And take every little win that you can. If it's eating, and the exercising is good, but it's the eating, cut back on the things that you crave the most. I was going to try to do extra, but I'm going to start small. My goal right now is to do the 1.5 miles without stopping. That's the goal. Because before I was able to do my burpees, I would do my 1.5 miles. I would do 25 burpees. I do about 100 push-ups. I do about 75 to 100 sit-ups. I'd get some leg raises in. I was just, this is my work. I apologize the mess. We're doing some cleaning. We're downsizing. So I would use the mat, and then I had this noodle I would have that underneath here. The kids messed with it. And I would attach to the metal part, and I'd do my sit-ups right there. And, I just use what I have. I'm not a gym. That's just never been me. Sometimes I wish it could, but, I'm more outdoor, calisthenics, basketball, things of that nature. Eventually, when we move and we get into a more permanent spot, I'm going to invest in a bike, and I'm going to do more biking. But for right now, I use what I have. I have places to run around here, and I'm going to run. And this is just motivation, man. Just start it. Whenever you can, start it. Take your baby steps. Don't put too much pressure. Don't look at the next person of, what they did, or, what they accomplished, or where they're at and what you want to get to. Just, my best thing I could say is to invest in the proper equipment. Like the workout gear, this is just the work shirt I use and I wear, but it's a dry fit, it's breathable. It's hot here in Florida. I have good pants. I invested in some nice dry fit shorts. So I was just using basketball shorts. They were a little too heavy. I invested in good underwear, like the non-rise spandex style running shorts. I invested in those over time. When I first started, I was just using what I had. These were my old. I was using these. These are running shoes, but I think I got these in 2021, and I was using these at 240 pounds. It's all worn out. There wasn't anything, but this is all I had at the time. They were great when they were new, but I used until I can get something else. But I didn't want to make excuses, and this is what I got now. I got some Hokas. I'll take it off so you can see it better. But this is what I invested in now. A nice, good running shoe. But if you're not running like that, don't invest in a running shoe. Invest in a cross-training shoe. If you got to get the right equipment that's going to be towards the goal you're trying to hit in the exercises you're trying to do. We make a lot of bad investments for ourselves by the way we eat, how we use our money, this, and that. And I'm not exempt. I'm trying to clean up all those areas in my life. I'm trying to do better with my money, trying to do better with my body. I do my best to stay on top of my spiritual being, really communicating with God as much as I can, staying in community with like-minded individuals. So I'm just getting back on my workout regimen. This is just to encourage y'all to do it. Just start it. I started on Tuesday, and I'm gonna take tomorrow off from the run, and then Thursday I'm back on it. No matter how tired I am, even if I can only jog 5 minutes and then walk the rest of the way, I don't care. I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna invest in myself. I'm investing in my family. The greatest investment you can give yourself is yourself. And that's by taking the right steps to bettering yourself. So I'm 218. March I got to go back for my follow-up, so I plan to be as close to 210 as possible if I can. If I could be under it, great, but my goal right now for the next 3 months is to drop at least 8 pounds, or as close to 8 pounds as possible. So that's my own personal goal. And if I don't hit the 8 and I hit 6, I'm still gonna be happy. You know what I mean? Like any win, whether it's big or small, I'm going to take it. If it's anything that gets me closer to the goal eventually and ultimately, and that's what I'm going to do. So it's fly life all day, every day. First, love yourself first. And I'm going to let, present day Josh fill you in on the rest. Peace. Right, so we back. I'm back on my exercise. I'm going to take it serious. I'm going to get back to, hopefully, at one point I was exercising 5 days a week, but I'm going to take it slow. I got my results. The only thing, no syphilis, thank God. I wouldn't expect that anyway. I don't got HIV, hepatitis. I'm clear on all that. I'm not going to put this on the screen because this is a personal thing, but, everything is good. My potassium, I did everything. Glucose is good. BUN, creatine, all these things, potassium, sodium, everything is in line. Chloride, calcium, all my levels are good when it comes to the numbers. The only thing that's high is my cholesterol. And it's not super high. It's something that, I do eat a lot of cheese and dairy, so I just got to cut back on that. I think I've done a good job, but I can do better. This is just a guideline for me to do better and to put better things in my body. It's just like your car. And matter of fact, I found one of my old work shirts for Keenan Advantage, and same thing. And this is just a sidebar for y'all. Don't get that cheap gas. That Sam's, Walmart, Costco. I know it's 30 cents less, but you're paying 30 cents less than the regular ones for a reason. I used to deliver fuel. It wasn't, I was there 6 to 8 months, and I want to say I know everything about fuel, but from the people that had been in the industry that I was trained under, they would give me some pointers and some insight. So I'm just going to pass, every time I can, I pass that along. I pass it to my family, I pass it to friends that try to go to a name brand like a Mobil, a Wawa, a 7-Eleven, a Racetrack, a Speedway. You're getting top of the line gas there. When you go to these mom and pops, you're not sure how the wells, and this reflects to our body. I'll bring it full circle. When you go to these top, like a Mobil or a Chevron, they put good additives in the fuel for the fuel to be better for your engine and for the fuel system. But when you go to like a Sam's, because I used to deliver to Sam's and Walmart and Costco, you're getting the cheap bottom of the barrel gas. That's why you can get it for so cheap. They can charge so cheap because you're not getting the best gas. And that gas can then mess up your engine. So what you put into your car will affect your car. Same thing. What you put into your body is going to affect your body. And another tip, when you go to the gas station, if you see a fuel truck there and he's pumping in, either wait till he's done or go to another gas station, because what's happening is if the tanks are low, he's now pushing up anything that's at the bottom of those tanks. And that stuff, if you're pumping while he's pumping into the wells, then there's a potential that any of that like debris or dirt or whatever that's at the bottom of those tanks is now going into your tank, and that can also cause problems. So just wait, and you just want to be careful, because some of these drivers, they don't use their vapor lines, and if they're not sucking the vapor out of the tank while they're pumping in gas, there could be vapor hanging around, and your engine being hot can then start a flash fire. So it's just, those are just tips that I'll give to you guys that may not know those things. I'm sure some of you that may be hip to game, but those that don't, I'm just giving that tidbit. I'm giving that nugget for y'all that, try to go to, not saying when you go to Wawa you have to get 93, but you can get, regular gas, but they put a better gas in their wells. And those mom and pops or those other ones, some of those wells aren't clean, and this is not to diss mom and pops. Not all of them are like that. I'm just saying, like, you just want to be mindful of what you're putting in, to your body and into your car. So those are just some things. And the same thing here, like what I'm putting into my body has been affecting my body. So now I'm trying to clean it up. I'm trying to put better fuel. I'm trying to put better things, nutrients, and like the additives for the fuel. I'm trying to put better additives into my body. And so right now, the only thing I really got to change is my cholesterol. One's supposed to be at 0 to 99. I'm at 129. And then one's supposed to be at 100 to 199. I'm at 201. So like they're not crazy. And then the other cholesterols fall in line. One's supposed to be 0 to 149. I'm at 113. One's supposed to be less than 39. I'm at 52. And then one's supposed to be 5 to 40. I'm at 20. So I got like 3 levels that I gotta fix. I'm gonna fix them by the time I go back in March. March is, that's my goal. That's my motivation, is to drop as much as I can by March, get healthier. So I'm going to get on it. And that's, that's it. I got my results. I'm happy with my results, and I'm going to help fix my results. I'm going to stay on top of it. And, this is just encouragement to y'all. Whatever it is that you're trying to do in life, health is important. Your mind health, spirit health, your natural health. Right now I still have some like pains right here. Like yesterday, like when I was running, I could feel a little bit, but I feel a lot better. I feel like I'm stronger. I've been drinking a lot more tea, loose leaf tea, not the pre-packaged tea. I've been getting loose leaf tea. My wife put me onto that. We have a great store down here in St. Cloud. I'll put the information on, because you can order packets from online. They're a believer too, so I love supporting other believers. I do support small businesses, so I don't want to just say avoid mom and pops, but sometimes some of those places, water might be over the wells and stuff like that. So do support small business, but just be mindful. If the business doesn't look like it's ran properly, you could just, maybe that's what you're getting out of it. So that's all I'm trying to say is, be mindful of what you're putting in your body. Get on it. Take small steps, man. You got this. I am going to start, recording, maybe not me running, because it's going to be too hard. I don't have the proper equipment, like a GoPro or anything and I don't think you guys care about me running, but like I might do some of when I get back to my burpees, when I get back to my sit-ups, just so it's motivation and encourage, like, hey, I'm doing it too, man. Like I got work to do. So, whatever it is you guys are trying to do, let's do it together. Get to it, man, and fly life, man. First, love yourself first, man. Your body is your temple, man. What you put into it is what you get out of it. So if you're putting bad, don't expect good to come out. So I hope you guys are appreciating these videos, man. I'm loving putting them out, and I appreciate the support and the love. Just 2026, it's a new year. Let's get to it. There's going to be ups and downs during this year. That's expected. That's life. But let's prepare ourselves to do better this year. And that, we end the year strong. Let's start the year strong. Let's end the year strong. And in the middle, let's just, be consistent. So until the next video, y'all be blessed out there. Peace.